We are back with a Match Week 2 recap on the 6 Yard Line podcast with me, my co host Noel. How's it going there, bud?
It would be great if StreamYard would work for us today. I think this is our fifth take, right? I don't know. Every time we hit record, it just freezes, and one of us ends up looking in an awkward position. So it's
Uh,
while it's not freezing, let's just get on to the first game before it
yeah.
crashes.
Oh, well, now I've totally lost track. Are we recapping today's game first, or do you want to go back
Let's
to our main?
let's talk Liverpool Newcastle because it started out quite a good game, and then obviously the red mist came over Gordon, and then it kind of ended as a contest. Well, as what I thought it ended as a contest. I was irritated by the the whole game, so I ended up turning it off at halftime. So I know you watched the end of it, and I my son was watching it at the end for Liverpool getting their winner, but I just thought it was stupid. I I find games like that generally do annoy me when somebody just ruins it. When it's a really interesting encounter, the first 38 minutes I thought was a good old fashioned Premier League game, and then but I did text you at like the 20-minute mark and said to you if this is not 10-on-10 by the end of the game, I think this would be an absolute miracle because this was a red card game waiting to happen.
But and that's the this is my problem with the Premier League is that you knew this was a highly anticipated matchup with all the drama going on, with regard to Isak. You just knew the tension was going to be in the air. So I felt the referee is the one who didn't take control with the first aggressive foul. Just simply talking to the captain sometimes isn't enough when you know the game, what's at stake. It's gonna be a physical matchup. And you let things go that to me easily should have been a yellow card early, which might have clamped down, you know, and at the end of the day, you can't be upset with the fact that Newcastle ended up getting the red card. It was a stupid foul. But it was based off of the heat, how that first half started to get heated, right? And that was the problem. Again, if you're not going to take control and you allow the aggression to continue to build, that will, people are going to sometimes lose it for a split second. And Anthony Gordon is not a dirty player. It was just a bad tackle, right? He caught
But
him in a
he's
bad
hot
spot.
headed though, and as I said to you, I think when we were messaging backwards and forwards, if you look at him, he was getting irritated by the niggly fouls, and I think it was going both ways. But again, I just think that game got ruined because I don't think, as you point out, the referee just let it go too much, and then he didn't also just kind of pull both captains and be like, enough, calm them down, right? And I think that's what was missing today. I think that was the problem. And then soon as that happened, soon as that tackle flew in, I wasn't really watching. I just saw the replay. I'm like, whoa, he's on the back of his leg, and it's just Anthony Gordon. That is his second red card in 14 games, right? So again, it's a little bit of we talk about this about the referees managing the game. I think in those games where it gets Premiership feisty, which happens, he
Mhm.
needs to do a better job of controlling it. And I felt that he didn't, and he's issuing yellow cards for inconsistently, and I just didn't feel like that was it. But the minute that went to thing, I thought this was over. Yes, credit to Newcastle for putting up a fight, but at the end of the day, I think it was really over as a contest once you send somebody off. And I
Yeah.
think that's what frustrates me more than anything. It's not the red card. It's not the thing. It's the fact is you've got a good game, and as a neutral, because I got no skin in either team, right? You just sometimes want to see a good game, and that first 38 minutes, I was quite entertained, right? And I
Well,
said that to you. I think it was a decent game
it,
up to
you
that
know,
point.
at the end of the day, with all said and done, Newcastle still played outstanding. To be able to fight back after being down 2-0 to tie it up, which I'll be honest with you, even in the extra time, I didn't think we were going to be able to find the winner. And it was a beautiful winner at that. But I was just felt Newcastle play out even before or even after they were down to 10 men. I just felt they managed the game better than we did. We looked like, all right, we're similar to what you saw in the week one. We go up 2-0, and you kind of just sit back and you kind of like figure the game's over when there's plenty of time left on the clock, and careless. Like our defending the past two games has been horrid. Can't deny it. Like, we scraped out a 3-2 win, and we're very fortunate to get that win, even with us being up a man. But, I think Slot has a lot of work to do this coming week. Like, yeah, 3 points, take it. That's a big road victory, because Newcastle is not the easiest. St. James Park is not the easiest place to go and get 3 points. It doesn't matter who you are. That is one of the hardest places to get a win. So, I'm happy, obviously. But I agree with you. Like, I just felt the referee could have done a better job from early on in the first half. I mean, literally in the first 10 minutes, he easily could have given out a card. So that's when I felt, as you said, take the captains, pull them aside and said, look, if you guys are going to keep playing like this, like both teams, like let them both know you'll both be down to 10 men. It's inevitable if you're going to continue playing with these antics. Like, sometimes you have to, put a foot down, right? But you let it go, you call one, you don't call the other. Players are going to get frustrated, right? They think that's a foul, you didn't call it, but you called it against our team. It easily can escalate, right? And again, Gordon got, like, when I saw the tackle, I actually didn't think it was a red. I thought it was a yellow. It was a hard tackle. But when I saw the replay, and then you're seeing all the images,
He's out of
after,
control. At the end of the day, he's out of control. He's going full tilt. He can't stop, and then he's out of control at that point. So that's why the studs come into the back of the leg, because he can't stop himself. I don't think he's trying to hurt him in any way, shape, or form. I don't think he's if he's trying to hurt him, I think he would have broke his leg, right? But I don't think he is. I think he's gone. If you watch the speed he's going across to try and make up to get the ball and to close him down, I just don't think he's got. He shouldn't be making a tackle. It's one of those ones you need to pull out of and just slide past him. Mm-hmm. But he doesn't. He tries to still make it, and he doesn't. He ends up, getting him high on the calf, and you can't do anything at that point other than just send him off. I will say that I am a big fan of the referee announcing to the crowd exactly why he's made the decision. I will say I actually really quite like this. I know we have it in MLS and we've had it for most of the season. But I find the Premiership ones are communicating it a lot better. Do you know what I mean? For pretty much that sending off, he almost said, "Look, he's out of control. He's reckless."
And he described it. Yeah,
he gave you the details. So I don't have an issue with the red card. I don't think anyone does, because of the way the referees announced it to the stadium. I did see some funny Newcastle fans were like, "Oh, you should have just called Anthony Gordon's an idiot, and what a stupid tackle." I saw some absolute bangers on Twitter today for people how they should have announced it, and most of them were Newcastle fans, to be fair. But again, I do like the way that now it's clear that you understand why the referee sent him off. As much as we're sitting there saying that the referee could have done a better job, when it came to executing the VAR decision, I thought he did a very good job, because once you looked at it and he gives the explanation, you're like, okay, I haven't got a question why he sent him off. And Anthony Gordon didn't either. Anthony Gordon turned around and shrugged his shoulders and walked off. He knew it, but it's just one of those things. But as a spectacle, from a neutral standpoint, yeah, it's disappointing that it's not gonna. I just thought Liverpool were gonna win 3-4-0 and call it a day, and it's another game over, right?
Yeah. No, I mean, I you did message me, like, oh, no, I'm not watching, game over. And I had it on, and
I know you're going to watch it, but from a neutral standpoint, there's no point in watching it when it's just, it's going to be a procession. And yes, and Liverpool maybe got a little bit too comfortable and caught with their pants down for a few minutes, and it was 2-2. But at the end of the day, like, I'm not going to sit there and watch it and just watch Liverpool just go and trounce a team that's against 10 men because, Gordon's had a moment of madness. And I do generally, I'm not a fan of red cards for every tackle, but, at the end of the day, he's got to go for that tackle. So it's just, but it does, in his, it's his fault that the game's ruined. That's all.
It's the kind of tackle that if you get it, if your timing is perfect, it's a brilliant tackle. You're getting the ball, you're on point. But if you're split second late, that's what happens. and you have to know yourself, like when you know you can get it. And I think a lot of times players just think like they're gonna get it.
Yeah, and I think that's at the end of the day, there's a point of no return. I think he was past the point of no return when he started
Right.
to
And like,
slide, and
and
that's the reason why he got caught, right? But
yeah.
uh, you know,
But you know what? Like I said, Newcastle still ended up. I think they held their head up high. They played an outstanding game. But that real goal, like, 16-year-old, you come on late in the game and you score a banger that sends your team off with 3 points. Great. And I think somebody said it was his birthday. I don't know if that's correct that today was his birthday, but either way, like 16, you get that's your first Premier League goal. Hats off to you, young man.
where did the 11 minutes come from? Was there an injury?
Uh, yes, Joe Linton went out, got injured. So did oh, what's the Italian? Why is his it starts with the T? His last name starts with the T.
Tonali.
Tonali? Yeah.
Tonali, yeah.
He got injured as well. So a couple injuries in the second half. Few and it wasn't like a few seconds. They were out for a while. So I was still surprised it was 11 minutes. 7. I would have seen more like 6, 7, but you know what? Maybe we'll have to check out Twitter later to see if people are complaining over the extra time. I haven't seen people complain, so I guess it seems justified.
It is high though. It is high. But it's not his
no, I mean,
birthday.
11 is a lot.
He's 16 years and 361 days, so he's 4 days away from his birthday.
Okay. Well, still an early birthday present for him. The only other thing is I don't recall how much time they added in the first half. So unless they're adding,
it wasn't much.
It's accumulated.
I think it was like 1 or 2 minutes. It wasn't much in the first half.
So maybe it's accumulated because that the red card that takes 2-3 minutes like that.
Yeah, but you can't carry it over.
Then I'm not sure where you got. Like again, I know a couple players got injured, but that usually doesn't add up to 11 minutes.
Not at all.
Right? There was no other VAR check. That's like I said, I haven't seen people complain about the 11 minutes. Usually that's, a sticky point, but it is what it is, right? We'll have to wait to see, in the upcoming weeks if we see more games like that where they're adding on. Because remember, was it after one of the World Cups when they started to do that? They just started to slap on these like 9 minutes on every game at first, and then it eventually.
It was. I think it was towards the start of last season where there was like 7-8 minutes on every game, and they were coming up with some weird and wonderful amounts of time, and then it kind of leveled out towards the end of the season.
Yeah, well, I think those. Let's hope this is just a one-off, and we're not going to see that again. But
thanks for watching, and don't forget to smash a like and subscribe, and do all the fun stuff down at the bottom there that we always seem to forget to remind everyone to do. So
yeah, all right, that's it for me then, Noel.
I'm good, man.
All right, you have a good one. Let's call it a night, and we'll be back next week.